If you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur and you're trying to grow your business by using posts in your Facebook news feed, you're probably making some mistakes that are costing you clients. I want to show you what those mistakes are today, and I'm going to show you how you can fix them, because you can't use Facebook for your business the same way that you would post things in your personal life. Your audience just doesn't respond to those things in the same way. And if you're new to my training, or if you would love to receive a notification every time I make a video about growing your business, now would be a great time to click the subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications. And I'm so inspired when I receive direct messages through my socials like these that talk about how much people love these training videos. Keep them coming, and I respond to every single one. So over the past 21 years, I've taught thousands of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and mompreneurs how to grow their businesses using free posts in their social media newsfeed. And many of them came to me making these same mistakes. Heck, I even made some of these mistakes before I figured out a methodology to radically growing your business using free posts in social media. So I want to share these mistakes with you today so you can fix them and start growing your business. All right, the first mistake that I see people making is overposting on social media. Here's what we know from data and research is that when you post on social media, when you post on Facebook more than once a day, your visibility drops by about 48%. That means you're going to get fewer people seeing your posts, which means fewer of your prospects see your sales messages or see the transformation that you can offer them. And when that happens, you get fewer people coming to you for service. So let's fix that. The optimum number of times to post is just once a day, maybe 5 days per week. Now I can hear some of you with a sigh of relief because you're being told by the amateurs that you need to be posting 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. It just doesn't work. Imagine if I called you up 3 or 4 or 5 times a day to tell you what I was doing. You'd stop taking my calls. It's the same on social media. The platforms don't want you over contributing because people are going to get tired of hearing from you. So they're going to reduce your visibility. Okay, your takeaway here, start posting just once a day, maybe 5 times a week, and watch your visibility go up. The next mistake a lot of people make is that they don't engage with their prospects when their prospects comment on their social media posts. So in Facebook, you create content and you post it in your timeline, and your prospects who are part of your friends will comment on your posts. It's essential that you go in and interact with those comments. It shows your prospects that you're engaged and that you care about them, and it gives you the opportunity to continue the conversation, that you can be of service to them and you can provide them with a transformation. Okay, so your next step, make sure you're always engaging with your prospects when they comment on your content. The next one is so important and it's super annoying to so many people, and it's that you're constantly selling on social media. Listen, nobody wants to be bombarded with a sales message every single time you post. Even Facebook doesn't want you posting sales messages over and over again. In fact, you run the risk of going into Facebook jail if you do that. So instead, talk to people about the transformation that you offer. Talk to them about what has happened to others who have worked with you. Show them that they can get results. Tell stories, but don't hammer people with the sales message. The next mistake that people make is that they don't understand their audience and that they're posting from their own perspective on social media instead of caring about the perspective of their audience. You have a very different perspective than your audience because you're in your business. You know what you do. You've been doing it for years. But your audience doesn't know what you do. They don't know the fine details, and you must go into the mind of your prospects and you must think about their perspective when you're creating your content. One of the best ways to do this is to understand the questions that your prospects are asking. Now, I have a whole nother video on figuring out what questions your prospects are asking. I'm going to post a link to that video at the end of this video. So understand the questions that they're asking, understand your prospect's perspective, and make sure your content is always coming from that perspective, and your prospects are going to warm up to you so much faster than if you're always posting from your own perspective. All right, coming up, I'm going to share with you the thing that bugs me the most, but before I do that, I have a question question for you, and it is, which social platform are you using to market your business? Are you only using Facebook with 2.8 billion active users, or are you also on LinkedIn, about 780 million users, or Instagram, about 1 billion active users? Which social platform or platforms are you using? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know which ones you feel are working best for you. I reply to every single comment on my videos. All right, the next mistake that people make is that they spend way too much time talking about themselves. And the reason that they do this is because, well, it's the easiest thing to talk about. You know yourself better than anyone. But your prospects don't necessarily care about you. So if you're always talking about yourself in your posts and showing what you've accomplished or what you've done, your prospects aren't resonating with that. Your prospects want to know about the transformation that awaits them in working with you. So you should always be talking about the transformation that you offer. You can do that by telling stories, you can do that by showing examples, or you could have testimonials or case studies. But if you're always talking about the transformation that your clients have, then your prospects are going to come forward to you saying, I want that transformation too, which is vastly different than you always talking about yourself. And that leads me to the very next problem, which is a lot of entrepreneurs never talk about the transformation that they offer when they post online. You should always be talking about the transformation you offer in one way or another, whether it's through a testimonial or through an account of what you do. You should be talking about that transformation that awaits the prospects, because that's what they buy. Now, if you're hesitant to talk about that for some reason, it's important to explore why that is, and maybe just take a step into the water, and maybe today write a post about the transformation that you offer. But don't sell in that post, just talk about the transformation that awaits. You don't even have to make an offer, because when you talk about the transformation enough, people start to figure out that you're the sole source for the solutions that they're seeking. The next mistake requires a bit of work to correct, but it is well worth doing, and that is optimizing your social profiles. I'm talking about optimizing every small detail of your social profiles, filling out your about information, digging deep into the settings and filling out every single field that is available to you, including your website and your contact information, writing a compelling about statement that's going to appear when people research and learn more about you. When you optimize your profile, you're showing people that you're serious about being an entrepreneur or being a solopreneur or a mompreneur. You show them that you have a serious business. And when you optimize your profile, when you fill out every little detail and make sure that you're doing a great job at displaying yourself as a business, people are going to resonate with that. So, like I said, it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of heavy lifting, but maybe take this coming weekend and spend time optimizing every detail of your profile. You can do that by just filling out every little part that's available to you. Make sure it's complete from start to finish. I also see so many times where entrepreneurs or solopreneurs are concerned about the number of followers or the number of friends they have versus the quality of the followers and the friends that they have. There's a big difference between the two. When you just pack your followers or pack your friends with people who aren't your perfect prospects, well, your message is going to be put in front of people who are never likely to buy from you. That's quantity. Let's focus on quality instead. You should be connecting with and getting to follow you the people who are most likely to engage with you and buy your services and look for that transformation that you offer. When you fill your friends or you fill your followers with people who are more likely to buy from you, your message is more impactful and you get more appointments in your calendar and you're able to serve more people. So focus on quality of friends and quality of followers versus the quantity. The quantity is a nice vanity number and it probably makes you feel really good about yourself, but I'd rather you feel good about yourself for building your business and serving more people. And you serve more people by having higher quality people as your friends or as your followers. Okay, I've saved the one that bugs me the most for last, and I saved it because sometimes it's even hard for me to talk about. It's when you beg for engagement on social media. Look, nothing makes you look more desperate for business when you post something on social media that's begging for artificial engagement. These are posts like, hey, can I get a hi from someone in all 50 states? Like, if it isn't obvious what you're trying to do here, that's beyond me. You're just looking for artificial engagement. Or the worst one is when someone writes something like, hey, let's all share each other's businesses. So post a comment below, but don't link to your website. Just show a picture of what you do, and you're going to get a lot of business from this. I ask so many people how much business they get from engaging in the comments on those kind of posts, and the answer is always the same: 0. And the reason that you're not getting any business from this is because it's not a business building strategy. The person who's posting this has received terrible advice from an amateur somewhere that this is going to help increase their visibility. But the platforms know what you're trying to do, and the platforms aren't going to increase your visibility for this. So stop doing things like that. You're looking desperate, and it's not working the way that you think it's working. I could talk about it for a half an hour because it bugs me so much, but I'm going to stop. You know what I'm talking about. Stop doing it and post the quality content that talks about the transformation, and stop begging for engagement. Stop looking desperate, because it's not helping you and it's not helping your business, because no one wants to work with someone who appears to be desperate. I hope I didn't offend you with that last one. I know this was a lot of information in a very short period of time, so I've taken all 9 of these mistakes and I've put them into a comprehensive swipe file just for you. I'm going to include a link for that swipe file in the description of this video. All you have to do is follow that link and get your hands on a PDF copy of that swipe file that you can start using right away. If you loved this training today, I would love to know what your biggest takeaway was. Let me know down below in the comments. And if while you were watching this, you thought of someone who could use to hear this message, I would be so grateful if you would share this video with them. You never know how you could affect someone's business by sharing just this little bit of training with them. As I wrap up today, I'm going to include a link to that video that teaches you how to write from your prospect's perspective, writing to the questions that they're asking. So go ahead and check out that training right now. And always remember, be kind and rewind, and I will see you in the very next training.